Hello beautiful people and welcome back to my channel. My name is Amity Gilmour and this is my life. It is Gastroparesis Awareness Month, August, so I am smashing out as much gastroparesis awareness content as I can in this month. And today we're going to be talking about 5 struggles that nobody talks about when it comes to gastroparesis. Let's get into this video.
Make things right. I hold you and wipe your tears.
Before we get straight into the video, I just want to say thank you to everyone who's already bought a gastroparesis awareness t-shirt from my Etsy store. If you want to get one of your own, I'll leave a link in the description to my Etsy store, and you can also use the promo code Amity77 to get 10% off your first purchase. Alright, let's get into number 1. Raspy voice. This is one I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about. I think this is to do with the vomiting. My voice isn't too raspy today, but other days it is completely raspy. And although I have not lost my voice completely from gastroparesis, I have come pretty close. This one is especially annoying because I'm a singer. I love to sing, I love to write my music, and singing is something that I really struggle with nowadays because of the raspiness, also because of loss of breath, like shortness of breath. And it's not like a nice raspy voice that like has an effect that sounds good. It's just all over the place and not fun. At the beginning of this year I was doing a lot of recording for my EP, but the problem was I struggled so much to find a good day to sing because my voice was just all over the place because of the vomiting, and it was just not in a good condition at all. But I feel like that's something that people don't talk about, and I'm talking about it. Number 2 is bad teeth. So this one also doesn't get talked about that much, and it's the fact that from the vomiting, your teeth can rot basically and get pretty disgusting. My teeth isn't too bad, I don't think, but I have started to notice they're a bit iffy at times, a bit more now. Obviously I won't know for sure until I see my dentist. I only see them once every 6 months. When I see my dentist next, I will definitely be checking to see what's going on there, because it looks a little weird and smells a little weird, and also just the vomiting, it does happen, and I've heard it happen to so many other people with gastroparesis where their teeth are literally rotting because they're vomiting so much, and it's not fun, and it's horrible, and that's something I feel isn't talked about enough. That is a real struggle. Okay, next one. So this one just really needs to change. Somebody in government, or I don't know, someone up high in government or wherever, needs to change something about this, and it is that having gastroparesis is expensive, like really, really expensive. And I feel like that's the same with any chronic condition. It's just ridiculous how expensive it is, and for some people it's even more expensive. So common costs when it comes to gastroparesis is obviously your appointments that cost an arm and a leg sometimes. Just to see a specialist for like 5 to 15 minutes can cost like up to $300. That is ridiculous and so unneeded, especially when you need to see specialists all the time. Other costs are the medicine. Medicine can cost so much money. In Australia we're blessed to have a system called the PBS where medications are quite cheap, and also if you spend a certain amount of money, when you reach a certain safety net, you get the rest of the medicine for the year for free. But that's only on medications that are provided by the PBS, and I feel like more medications need to be on the PBS. It can be up to $200 a box for some medications. Luckily for me, the most expensive medication that I've ever had to buy was around $80 to $90 a box. That being said, I was only on it for a little bit and it didn't work anyway, so yeah. Other medical expenses. Okay, so this one is a huge medical expense that I don't have to deal with at the moment. Hopefully I won't get to that stage, but for those who are on feeding tubes, the feeding equipment and medical equipment, and I'm not talking about the feeds, I'm not talking about the food itself, I'm talking about the actual equipment needed to do all this, can be so expensive. The pump, the extra tubing or something, I don't know if there's extra tubing, but you know, flushing things like syringes, like it is really expensive, and I feel like that is ridiculously expensive, especially when you can't work, and I think that needs to change as well. That just really needs to change. There's no way these people can afford it because they can't work. Now, on top of that, we're also talking about the feeds, and for those who aren't tube fed, also the supplements. So supplements and feeds for people who are tube fed, supplements for people who aren't tube fed are extremely and incredibly expensive. I know that my Fortisip cost $300 a month, and internal feeds for people who are tube fed are even more expensive. This is ridiculous how expensive this is, and someone needs to like bring this to some government official's attention or something. Other medical expenses that people don't even think about are travel and accommodation when going to appointments that are outside of your area. For a lot of people with gastroparesis, it's very unlikely, if you live in a rural area or not a main city, that you're not going to find people in your local area who know much about gastroparesis, and you need a specialist who knows what he is talking about. So you need to travel outside of your area in various degrees of kilometers or miles or whatever to be able to get the care you need, and that means paying for the transportation to get there and for paying for the accommodation when you're there. Like, that is a big cost. Anyway, that is my rant and my spiel on that side of things. Number 4 is mental health. Now, I feel like this isn't talked about that much and really should be talked about, and that's because when you have a chronic condition like gastroparesis, a lot of things are taken away from you that you had before. So your energy, your larger than life personality can sometimes be taken from you and stuff like that. And there is a lot of grieving process that can take a toll on your mental health. It's just crazy the amount of things that can really make you feel not good in your mental self. So I struggle with depression. I have as a kid before I even had a chronic illness, but however, it's worse now these days. It really takes a toll on me and I get really depressed. And that's something that I see a psychologist for, which is such a good idea if you're going through gastroparesis, to see a psychologist or a therapist or a counselor to talk things out, and to be able to find strategies is really important, because when your mental health is not good, your body doesn't do well as well. It's not just your mental health that is affected when your mental health is affected, if you get what I mean. The gut and brain connection is like a thing. Like, it's a thing. You need to get help. Like, we need to get help. So the last one is the unpredictability. This one really is annoying because it means I can't study, I can't work. My life is all over the place and extremely unpredictable. I can wake up feeling great and then the next hour or so feel awful. I can go to bed feeling awful and wake up great. This morning I woke up and I had the sorest stomach. It was inflamed and so much pain. I had to take a Panadol and I was very lethargic and very fatigued. And then about a couple hours down the track, here we are shooting a video and I have all this energy, which is probably adrenaline at the moment, but it sucks that I have to run off adrenaline to do it. See how unpredictable it is? I was actually working my first couple of, I think my first 6 to 7 months of being sick. I was trying to work and it was a massive struggle, and everyone was telling me, you can't work, you can't do this, but I kept ignoring it and I was like, no, it's okay, I need this job, I need to work, like, people work, that's what they need to do. And I tried extremely hard to get through the workday, and it just got really bad, and I was really unpredictable as a worker as well, because I could be really sick and have to go home early, or I could like ring up an hour before I had to come into work and say, I can't make it, I'm feeling awful, I'm feeling sick. Or I'd ring up about like the night before and say, I can't make it into work tomorrow, I'm in hospital at the moment. Or I can't make it into work today, I'm in hospital this morning. Like, it was so unpredictable that I wasn't able to plan work, and it was actually not just bad on me, it was also bad on my employers. So the unpredictability of this illness really is crazy struggle. After a while though, my doctor did put his foot down and say, look, you really need to stop working, this is not good for your health, it's not good at all. So I stopped working and I haven't been working since. My goal for the future is that hopefully I'll be able to get to a certain way that I can manage my symptoms well enough that I can work and study, because that's something I want to do in the future, do some work and study. But at the moment, that's just not possible. Anyway, they were my 5 issues that people don't talk about when it comes to gastroparesis. Is there anything that you struggle with that you feel like nobody is talking about? Let me know in the comments down below and let's bring some awareness to it, because I mean, this is why I do my YouTube videos, because I want to bring awareness to things that people aren't talking about. Sorry about that, my camera died, but basically this is the end of this video. If you like this video, be sure to give it a big thumbs up, and if you liked it even more, then don't forget to click that subscribe button. You can also follow me over my Instagram at Amity Gilmour. Love you guys, bye.